Hey guys, welcome to the Waitress Academy. Today we're going to talk about types of service. We're going to talk about French, Russian, English, and American. What are the four main types of service? We're going to start with the American service. American is the most popular service. 99% of the restaurants you go today and eat will provide for you American service. So let's start with American style. In front of me, I have a table, just a regular setup for evening, for dinner. You have chairs, you have a napkin, fork, knife, spoon, the set, if it's required. Then you have the butter plate with a spread method. Water glass, white wine glass, and red wine glass. In the United States, in Europe, there's a little bit difference. It's all American service, but in Europe, we serve the food from the right side and we bus from the right side. In the United States, we serve the food with the left hand from the left side for the guest. We bus the empty plate with the right hand from the right side of the guest. If we pour drinks, drinks are poured with the right hand, and the drinks are sitting right on top of the knife. So most of those guests are right-handed. They're using the right hand for the drink, and that's how we're setting up the tables. I guess anybody that's been working in a restaurant for at least a couple of weeks already is familiar with the American style of service. There is not so much details. The kitchen prepares the food, the chef prepares the food in the kitchen. They put everything on the plate so it looks nice. Of course, should be tested too. The kelner, the waiter, the job is to take the plate, bring it to the guest, and serve it with some finesse. The waiter should know what he serves, be able to explain if the guest asks about some questions about the meal, and that's it pretty much. The only difference, like I said, is we serve in the States from the left side with the left hand, bus with the right hand from the right side. In Europe, everything is done with the right hand from the right side. That's the only difference in American service in Europe and in the States. In a la carte, we serve everything on the plate in front of the guests. When everybody's finished on the table, the chef de rank will give the demi-chef or the commis a signal that the table is ready to be bussed. Everybody comes to the table, the plates are taken off, and the next meal is ordered. That's all it takes. No more information about American service. Now, Russian service. If this table is prepared for Russian service, we're gonna need a lot more silverware. The Russian service was created by the Russian king to impress his guests. It's also called a gold service because he used gold plates, gold silverware, gold glasses. So when the guests come, they're really impressed with all the gold and all the shining on the table. Then the Russian ambassador in the 19th century made this service very popular in France, and it was very popular. It's so popular that everybody was doing Russian service, service de Russe. What it is, usually they used to do 8, 12, 20 course meal. So you're gonna have like 4 forks, and actually you're gonna have 3 forks and maybe oyster fork. It's not appropriate to have more than 3 forks or 3 knives on the table. The main point of the Russian service is that the table is all set. You're gonna have glasses for champagne, for water, for white wine, for red wine, for aperitifs, for some after drinks. You're gonna have 3 forks, you're gonna have oyster fork, you're gonna have 3 knives with 2 spoons, the sets, and knife for the cheese. So everything will be put on the table with a gold plate. Of course, that was only for the Russian king, and then everything went on normal plates. But you're gonna have a plate, a platter in front of the guest with the napkin sitting on top of it or in front of it. It doesn't matter actually. When the guests come, he will sit down, he'll take the napkin, put it in your lap, and he's gonna wait for the food. Now, what is the main difference between the Russian service and the English service? The main difference is that in the Russian service, the waiter brings the food already cooked, prepared on a large platter. For example, let's say, like right now, we have soup, we have main course, and we have dessert. If I'm the chef de rank on this station, I will send my commis to bring the soup bowl so we can serve the soup. That's going to be the first dish. The thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the soup bowls on the table. Every guest will have this plate on the table in front of them, and I'm going to put an empty soup bowl in front of the guest. My demi-chef will show up with something like that. You have a plate and you have a huge soup bowl in your hand. You have to be able to carry this thing in your hand, and not just for 2 minutes, because you're going to have to serve all those guests on the table, and maybe not just those guests, maybe another table like that. Usually the Russian service is provided right now in those days on the cruise ship, because you have to be able to serve a lot of people really quick. On the cruise ship, we make second and third sitting, because the cruise ship has 4,000 people and the restaurant seats 1,500. What are you going to do? You're going to have 3 breakfasts, 3 lunch, and 3 dinners. And that doesn't happen when you do a la carte or you do something else. Russian service is really quick, and that's why on the cruise ships they use Russian service really, really often. Of course, banquets are also very appropriate to do Russian service. It's quick and it's easy because everybody is eating the same meal. Now, when I come to the table, the soup bowl is standing in front of the guest. I'm going to approach him from the left side. I will introduce what we have today for soup, and he will say that if he wants it or he doesn't want it. So you're going to do it. You just bring the soup bowl as close to as possible to the plate, because you don't want to spill the soup all over the table or over the guest. That's the worst thing that could happen. You bring the soup bowl next to the plate, you take it, you serve it, you take it, you serve it, and you move on to the next guest. Like I said, you need to have really strong left hand, because this thing right now it's empty and I can feel the weight, and when it's full with soup and it's warm, then it's going to be really hard to carry it, and you serve 12 people here and 12 people over there. Usually on a cruise, every team of 2 waiters, backup waiter and a head waiter, have 2 tables of 12 people, so that's 24 people, and you have to be able to serve them most of the time at once, because everybody wants to eat and nobody wants to wait. So you go back to the next guest and you do the same thing. You pour the soup, you fill the bowl as much as he wants, and you move to the next. Usually what we have is, we have a food team and we have beverage and wine team. The beverage and wine team is taking care of the guests, what they drink, wine, they drink white wine, red wine, water, they drink champagne. What usually in fine dining Russian service restaurants is that the guests are served for every meal a different type of wine that's complementary to the food, and the beverage team will take care of that. The food team will take care only for the food, make sure that everybody is satisfied with the food and served properly and on timely manner. When the table is served, they will finish their soups, and both of us will go to the table and start bussing it. You take the bowl, usually on a tray, and just collect all the bowls from the table. When it's an entry course, before the main course, this platter or plate stays on the table for the entry course. For the salad, when the salad is served and everybody is finished with the salad, then we're going to take the salad plate with the platter away from the guest, because the main course will be served on the table in front of the guest. Now, let's say we're finished with the soup and we're finished with the salad. It's time for the main course. We will have to collect all the spoons, all the appetizer forks, most of the time also the butter plate with the spread messer, and we will have only the main course silverware and the glasses on the table. What's going to happen is I'm going to send my demi-chef Darren to the kitchen to wait for the food, and I will prepare the table with plates. If I'm in the States, I put the plate on the left side with the left hand. If I'm in Europe, I will make it with the right hand, right side. Now we have empty, clean plate, polished, really good. It's not going to be gold, but it's going to be clean and polished in front of the guests. And the kitchen will prepare a platter with food. Now this is a small one. I'm using it just to show you the system, how it works. Usually this platter is much bigger. You're going to have the meat. It could be anything. It could be chicken breast, it could be steaks, it could be lamb chops. Then you're going to have some potatoes. You're going to have some vegetables. And this, you, with your skills, will have to serve it for the guests just the same way like we serve the soup. Now, what usually happens is I don't have time for my demi-chef Darren to go twice to the kitchen, especially when you serve a captain's table. Captain's table is all the way to the front of the ship, and the kitchen is all the way to the back. That's a lot of running. I don't have time to go to the kitchen and wait twice for my meals. So I will tell my demi-chef Darren to prepare a tray with 24 meals. I should be able to serve 24 guests with one tray. It's a large tray, it's a heavy tray, but that's how it should be done, because other way you waste time. If you serve this table and they go back to the kitchen and wait another 15 minutes for the next tray to be prepared, this table will be finished and this table would not be even served yet, which will have 12 mad guests. So that's what we do. I will order my demi-chef to bring me 24 courses. And here you're going to have 24 meats, you're going to have enough bread, enough potatoes, enough salad on the plate so you can serve everybody. And if it's something happening, it's not enough, I see that's going down, I'm going to send him while it's not finished with extra potatoes and extra salad and maybe a couple of extra pieces of meat, because sometimes the guest want two, doesn't want just one. But what's happening is you go to the guest again from the left side, you hold the fork and the knife and the spoon with your right hand, you tell the guest what you serve, you take a piece of meat, get as close as possible to the plate so you don't spill nothing on the table or on the laps of the guest. You serve the meat in front of the guest. You take the potatoes, you put 1-2 potatoes, you take the salad, you serve him some salad, and you move back and move to the next guest. And this is 12 times on this table and then 12 times on the other table. It's pretty heavy, it's pretty hard, but we do it. We've done it for many years. You get used to, you get stronger, and that's how it is, guys. This is everything that needs to be known about the Russian service. Now, there's a little bit controversy here, because many times you will hear some people telling you that that's not Russian service. Some people will tell you that Russian service is exactly this setup with the glasses, with the many silverware on the table, with the plates and everything like that. But the waiters will come and just put the prepared bowl with food in front of the guests, and the whole table is going to be full with some food, some salad, some this and this and this and this, and that's the Russian service, okay? Used to be like that. Yes, the king, when he makes a big plate, table, they used to do that too, but in nowadays, or many years now, since that's already in the past, Russian service is exactly what I already told you. We bring the cooked food on the platter, everything is there for the plate to be served. You go to the guest, you serve it, and that's it. That's everything. You serve the soup, you serve the salad, you serve the main course, and then of course you bring dessert the same way, you serve it to the guest, and that's all it takes. Do you have to know anything else? I don't think so. Russian service, like I said, is nowadays used in cruises or banquets, because it's the fastest way to serve as many people as possible, and that's why they use it in those places. And that's all it takes for Russian service. I don't think you need to know anything. If anybody has questions, of course, you can write it down. Maybe I'm missing something. I'll be happy to answer the questions. It's not a problem. Go ahead, write it down, ask me, and I will answer it. Let's talk about English service, guys. English service is something that you will never see in a restaurant. The royal families in England, maybe they still do some English service. I don't think you can find a place that you can go, public place, and eat and be provided with an English service. English service requires a host. For example, I have invited all my lord friends in my castle, and I will prepare for them some amazing food, but I personally will serve for them. It's not exactly I will serve for them, it's more like that. All my guests are coming to my house, the table is prepared, you have exactly the setup like you see right now here. You have 3 forks, you have 3 knives, you have 2 spoons, you have the set silverware, you have many glasses, in a different configuration. It doesn't mean if they're like that or they're so or they're so. Anyway, we come to the table and we all sit down. It's called a butler service also, because the butler will direct the traffic and the servants will follow the butler instructions and serve the food. But what's happening is, what's interesting, what's happening is, now, salad will be most probably placed on the table in salad bowls. Or maybe the servants will be serving the salads directly to the guests. Now, this is just normal. It's like, it could be like a Russian service. The servant goes to the table and just gives some to the guests, or they give to the guests so they can take some from the bowl to their plate. Or most probably the salad will be put on the table and you're going to take it, you're going to put it, and you're going to give it to the next guy. The interesting part is when the main course or the entry course is served. The butler will order to the servants to bring the entry course. The entry course will be brought to the host. And the host, the butler will bring also the plates, will bring the carving knife and a big fork, and the host itself will cut the meat, put it on the plate, give it to the hostess, and the hostess will put some salad or some vegetables or some potatoes on the plate and will give it to the next guest. The next guest is going to give it to the next one and next one and next one until the meal gets to the last guest across the host. And this will happen for every other guest. The host will cut the meat, give it to the hostess will put some vegetables, some salad, give it to the next guest, and they will try the plate, and the plate will go from hand to hand to hand to hand to hand until it gets to the last guest, and before the last, and so and so and so, until the hostess becomes her meal and the host becomes his meal. Of course, nobody is eating until the host gets his meal too. In some cases, the host is so important that he will prepare the first plate for himself, he will put it on the side, prepare everything for the other guests, and then take his plate, put it in front of him, and everybody will be able to eat when the host has the plates in front of him. That happens for the entry course, that happens for the main course, maybe that happens for the set tour. It's optional. But basically, that's what English or butler service means. You have a host who has invited all his friends or family in the house, and he provides the meal, he makes the plates with the hostess, of course, together, and every guest gives the plate to the next one until the last guest is served, and then goes back all the way to the host. Like I said, English service is not appropriate for restaurants, but maybe somewhere in the world they follow the tradition, and you can find an English service restaurant, sit down with your friends, be a host, cut the meat, give it to them, they transfer the plates to our friends, and so have some fun with the English tradition. That's it pretty much for the English service. Now, French service is something very, very special. Like everything French, like the French wines and the French women. In the French service, the waiters, or so-called chef de rang and demi-chef de rang, will be the people who prepare the food. The chef de rang actually will be the man who prepares the food in front of the guests. when the guests are seated and the drinks are served by the sommelier or the beverage team, the guests will order their food. The kitchen will do some initial preparation, or maybe not. Maybe everything will be prepared on the gueridon. When the guests have ordered their food, the ingredients for the food, everything that the guests have ordered, will be put on a wagon, on a cart, or a gueridon, like it says, like it's in France. A gueridon with a heater, with a boiler, everything that's needed to prepare the food in front of the guest. This gueridon with all the ingredients and all the spices will be taken from the kitchen, rolled all the way to the table. The chef de rang will stay like a meter away from the table, and he will start cooking the food. If it's a fish, the fish will be cut. It's going to be filleting the fish, or carving the meat. Then it's going to be grilled. It's going to be boiled. Whatever it is, everything, all the final preparation is going to be made on the gueridon in front of the guest. That's why I said that the French service required really skillful workers, a lot of training, a lot of experience, because there is no second chance, guys. You cannot drop food on the floor in front of the guests. That's going to be really embarrassing. You cannot put so much salt, because then you'll really be embarrassed. And everything has to be perfect. In order to be perfect, you have to really have the skills, you have to have the knowledge. Now, when the food is prepared, there is variation to the French service. If I'm a chef de rang and I will prepare the food for the guest, and every guest, let's say we have 4 guests, every guest have a different meal, I will prepare the food, I will put the food on the plate, nicely arranged, it's going to look nice, it's going to be tasty, it's going to look beautiful, and my demi-chef will take the plate and bring it to the guest, and just put it in front of the guest, with the right hand, on the right side, serve the food, and the guest is ready. This is going to happen to the next guest and to the next guest. If I have just 2 people on my table, and it's a large table, and they eat the same thing, I might not plate the food. I can put the food, the meat, the vegetables, the side dishes, the sauces on a platter, and just put it in front of my guest in the middle of the table, and they can serve it themselves. That also happens in the French service. If it's 2 or 3 people, that could be done. The guests can help themselves and serve the food for themselves when I'm prepared and everything is ready. When it's more than 2 or 3, the chances that everybody order the same thing are small, and also not presentable. If you have 6 people on the table, to leave those guests to take care of themselves with one big pile of food in the middle. So if it's more than 2 or 3, the food will be served, will be plated on the gueridon, we'll give it to the demi-chef de rang, and demi-chef de rang will bring it to the table. In the French service restaurants, those are just the top, really fancy, really expensive restaurants, because in order to provide service like that, you need chef de rang, demi-chef de rang, commis de rang, runners, then you have kitchen staff, that's supporting staff in the back, you have sommelier, who's supposed to serve the wine, you have a drink, kellner, that's supposed to serve the cocktails, you have a bartender supposed to make the cocktails, a lot of stuff to be taken really the best way for the guests, to take care of the best way possible for the guests. So that's really a lot of expenses for the restaurant, and all this equipment with gueridons and everything costs money. So that's why you will find a French service only in the most expensive places in the world. Of course, the French service is a lot of fun. The guests enjoy when they see how you prepare the food, especially if you're really good and you can do the things with finesse, with quickness. Maybe you have been in the Japanese restaurant when you sit down in front of the chef on the other side of the bar, and he just cuts all those fishes and makes the sushi and all these other things, and it's really fun. So the same thing is with the French service. If the chef de rank is really good, he can do everything in a special manner with a finesse, and the guests enjoy that. And then, of course, if everything is really delicious, they can have an amazing evening. Those guests will be paying a really premium price for this experience, and of course will demand the best service possible. Yes, all those little details about if the butter plate stays here or stays there, if the knife is like that or like that, those are little details that don't really matter. Those are little details that you can improvise in your restaurant. You can also, if you're a new guy and you start working in a place like that, you can learn right away. You know, you go to a training. You don't go to a French service restaurant and just go on the floor and start doing some crazy things. It doesn't happen like that. So I don't need to spend more time on this. That's what French service means. The waiter, the chef de rank, will come to the table with the gueridon, with a cart, equipped with everything that you need, grill, everything that you need to prepare the food that the guests already ordered. And you will cook the food in front of those guests, and your help, your demi-chef and commis will serve the food. Then you're gonna bust the table, and everything is, yes, it's the same with busting tables and everything like that. But you cook the food in front of the guest, and that's what the fancy French service means. I think that's it about the service. Like I said, if you have any questions, write it down. I'll be happy to answer. Of course, if I have the answers. I don't have the answers for everything, but if I don't have answers, I can ask my chef here in the restaurant, or I can ask somebody else, or I can do some research, and you can do it too, guys. You can check the website. I will post some very specific information about all those services. You can read all those articles. They're very, very detailed. So if that's not enough what you learn from the video, you can go to the website, the Waitress Academy. It stays on the main page of the YouTube channel. Just click on the waitressacademy.com, and you can check all those articles about the Russian service, about English service, about they are amazing. Those guys are doing a great job explaining the service and the history of the service and the differences between the little details. So you can learn a lot of things on that. Check the other videos. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet. More videos are coming. Apologize that the last couple of weeks have been without a video. Like most of you know, I was on vacation in Barbados. We had an amazing time. You can check my other channel, JustNet, and see all those videos that are coming right now from our vacation in Barbados. Yes, we enjoy it. That's how life should be, guys. We work really hard in order to enjoy life really, really thoroughly. We work hard, we make good money, and if you don't make good money right now, make sure you learn, you find a better job, you start making more money, and then a better job and a better job, and you get to the top job, you're gonna make top money, and you're gonna have an amazing life. That's all for me for right now. Take care, guys. Stay out of trouble. Thank you very much for watching, for commenting. I'm trying to answer all the questions on the comments section. It takes a lot of time, but I appreciate every single comment. I appreciate every single like and every subscription. So thank you very much. You've been great. Keep going. We keep going. Take care, guys. Ciao.